Right in Glasgow for further coverage of the 1991 TUC conference.
Welcome back to the Trades Union Congress in Glasgow and the debate on collective bargaining strategy for the 1990s, perhaps the most important debate this week, centering, as it does, on the relationship between Labour, if it should be elected, and the trade unions. We've just had an important speech from Gavin Laird of the engineers, whom we spoke to this afternoon just before the debate began, and these are the words with which he finished his speech. The AEU, he said, the engineering union, will support a legal national minimum wage, but that mustn't lead to a backdoor introduction of bankrupt incomes policy or squeezing of differentials. There he is amongst his delegation now. And then he finished with these words: minimum wage, yes; incomes policy, no. And those are the words he chose to support. And there's Bill Jordan. Those are the words he used to support Composite 16, which is now before conference. Bill Jordan, his president, up there on the platform, applauded the end of his speech. And I think they've now reached the moment at the end of this important debate. One more speaker before they get to the vote.
117.
Right. This delegate is exercising his right to speak, not technically to the motion itself, but to the part of the report, which they're also debating at the same time, the General Counsel's own report.
117 I haven't got to yet, am I? I don't think. No.
No, he's gone away.
No, we will take the vote on the collective
his bit wasn't on
bargaining
this.
strategy, motion number 16. All those in favour? Any against? Unanimous. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
So they've finished this important debate, and he's got cause to look pleased. Rodney Bickerstaff of the Public Services Union UP, who's fought a long, hard fight to get this at the top of Labour's priority should it be elected. And he was paid a warm compliment by John Edmonds of the GMB. John Edmonds, in his speech, said that this wouldn't just work, but it would make Labour more easy to be elected, that it would increase its opinion, that it would increase its lead in the polls. He said opinion poll evidence from his own union suggested that. A very important day then, not just industrially, but politically here for the TUC.
We're back now with the delegate who wants to raise one of the points that he's concerned about in the annual report of Congress on the work not only connected with national bargaining but also with the handling of wider pay negotiations. We'll go straight to the delegate who's come up to raise a point on the annual report. It's Sandy Gibb of the NCU.
Is the campaign for reduced weekly working hours. Our union is committed to pursuing a 32-hour working week by 1995. Ambitious, you might think, but when you consider that employers like BT are making profits of over £3 billion per year while ploughing tens of billions into investment and technological improvement, you'll understand that they could more than afford to agree a phased reduction to a working week of 32 hours on the timescale that we are aiming at. If trade unions organising people at the forefront of technological development can't make breakthroughs on reduced hours, few will. In an effort to sharpen our campaign in the NCU, we'll be building pressure on BT and the Post Office to agree a 1 hour reduction for our members by 1992, and on average that will reduce our working week to 36.5 hours. That claim will be further pursued with BT in the course of the next week. We don't harbour any illusions in the short-term social partnership that short-term social partnership will be the vehicle that delivers what our members want. The widespread and protracted campaigns of industrial action organised by the engineering unions stand as a stark reminder that when we demand our share of the benefits from technology and increased profitability, employers resist. That conflict of interest cannot be wished away. Even a social partnership, including a Labour government, trade unions and employers, an ambitious aspiration in itself, will find consensus on an agenda for reduced working time one of the hardest nuts that they have to crack. An economic debate earlier today, the massive unemployment generated by economic policies of successive Conservative governments was highlighted. While those processes demand our condemnation, other trends and sources of job cutting need to be understood and responded to. Privatisation and deregulation in the communications industry is camouflaging the negative effects of the ongoing technological revolution. New technologies and systems of working should be enhancing our members' working lives, not destroying their livelihoods. We need to adopt a more conditional approach to cooperating with ongoing technological change. In raising the demand for reduced working time, we are not just trying to enhance the security of existing jobs, but generate opportunities for the millions of unemployed. There's a danger that our efforts to win reductions in hours will be portrayed as straightforward self-interest. It's our job to win the argument in our society that that's not the case. We want more leisure time for those with jobs and more jobs for those who can't afford leisure at present. It says it in the report before you. The campaign for reduced weekly working hours should take on even higher priority. The NCU wholeheartedly supports that declaration by the General Council. We are committed to working to achieve that, and we would urge other affiliates to do the same. With a Labour government elected this year and next, our bargaining strategy could prove to be the lull before the calm. But even under a Labour administration, reduced working time is likely to prove the source of both confrontation and conflict, and we should understand that.
So this has been a very important day at this Trades Union Congress in Glasgow. An important day not just for Congress itself, but for the Labour Party in the conference season that's now opening up. Norman Willis, the TUC's General Secretary, said that this wasn't a rally to support the Labour Party. Maybe not, he's there with his Deputy General Secretary, John Monks, and with David Lee, who heads up the Economic Department. But politically, everybody knew that what was going to happen today was very important for Labour's conference too, and may well yet be important for Labour's chances of being elected when the election should come.